Welcome to Spill the Tea, where musicians tell nothing but the truth about gigging live. Joining me today, we have a fabulous singer and songwriter. Everybody make some noise for Nathalie Miranda! Yay!
Thank you.
Welcome, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are
Yes,
you?
I am very well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This is just so cute and like...
Are you enjoying your tea?
It's delicious.
She's having Earl Grey today.
Earl Grey, yes.
I'm having a fabulous chocolatey something. So you started performing when you were 17, right?
Yeah, around 15, I think.
15,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And when did you think, like, along the way, you thought, dang, I kind of like want this to be my job?
Do you know, I always wanted to be a singer, but I was a really, really shy kid. So like even in my house, I would turn the music up and sing so my parents couldn't hear me.
Really?
And I always knew I loved it. I loved to perform. I would watch people on TV and be like, I want to be on TV and sing my songs and, you know. But I was so shy, and I ended up, when I was about 15, going on holiday with my family. And there was a karaoke night at the hotel. And I said to myself, if I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to get past that first hurdle of being afraid to sing in public.
Yes.
And so I did it. And actually I made a deal with my mum. I said to her, if you do it first, then I'll do it.
Love it.
And
Support.
she was like, oh my God, like I have to sing. So, I mean, bless her, she got up and she sang. And I was like, okay, now I have to do it.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got up and I sang Hopelessly Devoted to You.
Easy.
With my back to the audience. And I was like
really?
this. Like this.
Oh, bless.
But I was so, like, once I'd done it, like, everyone stood up and clapped. And I was like, okay, I must have done something right.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, and it gave me that push I needed. And then I came back home and, you know, made sure I carried on writing. I found a local studio to start recording demos and things like that. And, yeah, never stopped.
That's incredible, because you have a very beautiful, like, particular velvety like voice.
Thank you.
You know, like, I always wonder, you know, especially when you're a kid, like, how do you, you know, like, you feel like, okay, I love singing, you know, but it's really hard sometimes to say, do I have a good voice? Do I have a good tone? Because you have such a special tone as well, you know, it really jumps out of the crowd, you know, it's very different. So I'm sure everybody was like, wow, okay, this girl, you know. I was terrified the first time I sang. I literally petrified. I was 16 as well.
Yeah.
And I think I sang, what did I sing? Mariah Carey, Hero.
Oh, good one, good one.
Literally, I think I remember watching the video and I was like this. And then a hero comes along, literally like this. Why
because
am
you don't know
here?
what people are thinking. You're just like, oh.
Yeah. Imagine the first time on stage, you're like, and now? Like, am I meant to be moving, smiling? What do I do, you know? So it's crazy. Like, I think we're really, really brave for doing this, you know? It's not easy to be in the middle of attention and doing that. So you write your own music as well. And I think I love it. On your Instagram bio, you go, I write music for the underdogs.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So I would classify myself as an underdog, basically. I've fought for so many years to try and be heard by the industry, to be taken seriously by, you know, my peers or whatever. Because I do have a different sounding voice. I don't fit in the sort of pop sense. And that's always been a slight problem because people always want to pigeonhole you, always. Right. And I've always followed my heart, and I'm quite stubborn. I've always gone, look, I like to do multi-genre, I like to experiment, and I'm not changing the way I sound just because you tell me that I need to. And I tried to when I was younger. I would try to be more pop or whatever, but it didn't work for me. It felt like I was being fake. And I'm not about that. I'm all about being 100% myself. Mm-hmm. So writing for the underdogs, I write a lot about empowerment and believing in yourself and never giving up, because that's my own personal journey. And I feel like if you follow your heart and you're always yourself, authentically yourself, other people will feel that, and
Absolutely.
they will connect with that.
Absolutely.
And hopefully I will inspire other people to follow their dreams.
100%.
And just be yourself.
I'm sure there are so many people, absolutely. I'm sure there are like so many people, like for one reason or the other, that feel this way, you know, whether, you know, because as you said, you were shy when you were little, but there are some people that still struggle, you know, they love to do this, they would love to have a career in music, but they struggle with, you know, anxiety on stage or even writing, all the pressure, rather than, you know, anything else that kind of gives you doubts. So that's great. So you get to perform your own songs.
Yes.
So how would you say like that compares to like performing covers?
Well, I love music. There are lots of cover songs I enjoy singing, but when you're writing something singing something that you've written yourself, and you know it's come from a place of experience or inspiration or whatever it might be, it comes from a different place. It comes, for me, it comes more from like way down in my soul. And I hear it when I'm doing, you know, sort of online gigs or whatever, and I'm doing a mixture of cover and originals. The minute I switch to my originals, there's like a click. It's like, okay, this is what
That's me.
doing. Yeah, this is me.
Wow.
And not all my songs are about personal experience, but because I've gone through that process of writing them and producing them and, you know, releasing them, it's a different thing altogether.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a different depth to it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You know when you're singing, I don't know, like Dock of the Bay.
Yeah.
This is one of the songs I love to sing, and I'm always like, I love to visualize, you know, whatever. Even when you tell me a story, I literally see it. So, you know, I'm always like, sitting on the dock, and I'm literally like there, you know, in my little piece of grass, you know, like this, and the wind is going. But when you're singing something that is so personal to you, like you go back to the thoughts you had, you go back to the feelings, you go back to what brought you there, which has got like a whole different meaning, you know. So I guess, and how do you think like people perceive it? Like, do you feel like there's a good like perception about original music, or crowds are still like, I mean, who is she? You know, people love to hear things that they know.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel that's still really true, unfortunately. They like to hear things they know, and I think if you are kind of, say you've got a bit of a name, say you've been on certain TV shows, which
all the time. Do you get it all the time? Sarah, why don't you go to The Voice?
I can't. I'm just like, I don't agree with those shows. I have my own experiences with those shows. I've auditioned for nearly all of them.
Really?
And never got past the first round.
Oh,
Fine.
I mean, it's so... Okay, let's not say anything.
Yeah. You know, that's just my experience.
Let's not open that door.
But like, I feel if you have been on those shows and you've had a bit of exposure,
if
you're doing a gig and you do your own songs, people are more likely to want to listen to them.
Yes.
But if you're just, you know, another indie artist doing another song about whatever it might be, I mean, they do listen, don't get me wrong, but it's harder to kind of keep that focus.
Yeah.
Which is why I always throw in a cover or two when I'm doing an original set.
Yeah. Don't you feel like it would be different as well? Like if you said, hi guys, my name is Nathalie Miranda and I have like 1 million followers on Instagram, then they'd be like, she's good.
Oh,
like we need to follow her.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the other
like
thing.
I saw I think a photo on Instagram the other day, a post, and it had like Kurt Cobain photo, and he said like, imagine if Kurt Cobain had to like do content every day.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like this is the thing, like you're not just and I know I'm stating the obvious right now, but we have to do so much.
Oh my
you know,
God.
you can't just be the singer, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe in the 90s you could have been, you know, discovered
Yeah.
by someone in a local pub.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just like, how many followers do you have? How many times a day are you posting? You know, there's a whole lot of like new things that we need to deal with.
Absolutely. And I mean, I grew up in that time when you still could be discovered. I was never discovered. I was kind of delayed kind of development in that kind of in performing.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted. I wanted to be the singer and songwriter and to write songs that would connect with people, you know, and sort of gain a fan base like that. And perform and travel, but now we are managers, we are PR consultants,
Everything.
we are, you know, tour, you know, bookers or whatever. It's just
Photo editors.
photo, video. And I find social media really awkward. I mean, I do it and I've been told that I do it quite well, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And I find it quite stressful. You know, like if I don't post on Instagram for a week, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to do something. I've got to do something, you know, or TikTok is even worse. You have to be like more regular every day, every 2 days.
Absolutely.
And it's just so many layers to what we have to do. And it does become quite overwhelming.
Yeah, because I think it kind of takes it out of what essentially is.
Yeah.
Also, because like you feel like you need to post every day. It's like, what if I don't have anything to say?
Absolutely, because we're actually, you know, going away and making music, or maybe we want to just experience life for a little bit so we can get inspiration to write music.
Yes.
or maybe we just need a break.
You're not allowed.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. You need to schedule your post no matter what. No matter what. Oh my goodness, that is crazy.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, thankfully, you know, like to counterbalance that, I think, you know, like live gigs are a great way to keep a bit grounded.
For sure.
How do you feel like when you're in a new venue? Do you ever feel a bit nervous? Are you mostly excited? Are you thinking about it a lot? Like, do you Google it? Because I always Google it. When I'm in a new venue, I'm like, let me see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Is it big? Where is the stage? You know, and everything.
For sure. I mean, I don't do as much function work these days as I used to, but I would always check out the venue, what the kind of crowd is like, you know, the menu as well, just to see.
Right. I just want to know, you know, like, what is the vibe?
What's the vibe? Yeah. But yeah, you do get nervous because, especially if you're like a new singer to the venue and say the other singer's left or they're not available or whatever, and you're deafening, you know, you're just like, oh my, are they going to like me? Like, will I get asked back? You know.
I know. Yeah. There's all this stuff like, oh, do you know what I do? I go to too much spilling in the sea here again. But like, I go to the venue and you go to the tagged post.
Yes.
So you can see like who's played there before.
Yeah, I've done.
You're like, are they good? What are they? What do they wear? You know, still a nice little stalking, like the nice, you
like
know, gentle one, professional one. I love it. Yeah, that's a new label. What is like the biggest lesson that gigging taught you?
I think kind of just sort of, if you're in a function situation, you obviously have to interact with the audience. And if you're in an originals kind of situation, I don't tend to interact with them so much because I really just want them to get the feeling of the song. It's not like you're going, yeah, you know, everybody. You're not doing that in an originals showcase. But I think it just taught me to, you know, think on my feet, be prepared for sure. Backup mics, you know, batteries.
Oh yes,
all of that. And I was the band leader for a while in my function band, so I had to do all the arranging, all the gear, bring everything. So that really taught me, you know, about signal flow and setting everything up, and that was a huge lesson. But yeah, I think ultimately just have fun. Don't think too much about it. As long as you're prepared, you know what you're doing. Just get up on stage and just kind of bring it.
When I think like, I don't know if I can do it today, sometimes that turned out like to be one of the best gigs.
Yes.
I think like for example, last week, like I wasn't really well, but I had this gig and I was like, guys, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I feel like when you're fine, you have so many things going on in your head, like, will I hit the notes? Is my breathing okay? Whatever, am I pushing too hard? Whereas when you're unwell, a little bit, you're like survival mode, and your brain is like, just go.
Yeah.
You know? So you stop thinking about anything else, and then you're like, I'm riding the wave.
Yeah.
I'm really going like, and it's amazing. There's such a great flow that goes with it.
Yeah, and I think also the adrenaline makes you kind of just get through it.
Yes.
I remember I had a gig, I had this, it was like awful flu or something, and I had to do the gig, and we had to end up bringing a lot of the songs down because I couldn't reach the notes. But I mean, the client didn't realise. They were just like, you know, we just got through it. And I was getting through on adrenaline, and as soon as we finished, I was like, oh my God, I need to go home and just like get into bed. Like,
the relief, you're like, I made it. Oh my, I know that. Or do you know when you wake up in the morning and you feel like dry?
Yeah.
And you're like, not today.
Yeah.
And you really, but that's the thing, like, if we had like a normal job, you're like, fine. You know, you can clearly go on with your day.
Absolutely.
But the fact that you need to use your voice, that is your job, you're like, I feel like the weakest person on earth right now because I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
So oh gosh, you guys. What do you think is the best way to network with musicians? So to get to know as more musicians as possible?
So I wish I would have known this way back when I first started singing, because I didn't know any singers. I was the only one in my friend group that wanted to be a singer or an artist in any way. I didn't know where to start, and I didn't really know who to talk to. I kind of just got by, you know, finding friends of friends or whatever. But there's so many ways to network now. You could start online, you can join groups. Am I allowed to mention social media sites?
Absolutely.
There's Facebook groups are really good. Also on Instagram, you know, if you follow other artists and other singers, they might mention, oh, there's this night going on tomorrow, whatever. Yes. There's a lot of sort of companies right now, like Amplify Her is one of my favourites. I've been I'm not a member, but I've been part of their group since like 2022.
Okay.
Since it started. I highly recommend Amplify Her. It is for female and non-binary and gender minority artists. But it does tend to focus more on the lack of female artists.
Interesting.
Female artists being taken seriously in terms of producing or anything like that.
Right.
It is just a beautiful group of people, community.
Great.
And they do showcases, they do networking, they do cocktail nights, they do coffee mornings. There's like a WhatsApp group. It's just a great group of people if you need advice, if you want to collaborate with people. There's also Under the Radar, which is really good. They do events. They also do networking nights. So
okay, we're going to put in the description. I think I heard Amplify Her. I didn't know the latter one, but okay.
There's so many opportunities. I'm not very good at networking, if I'm being honest. I don't like to. I find it hard to kind of be, hi, I'm Natalie and I do this. I do go to some every now and then, but I prefer to take a friend with me because I'm quite shy.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
but you can meet.
Can
some
be
great
quite
people.
overwhelming, you know, with so many people. And I also find it like, depending on the characters.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why I stopped going to jam sessions. You can have a lot of divas, kind of like characters.
I feel you.
You know, like I remember like going to this jam and it was great. The musicians were amazing. Yeah. But you would also get, you know, the kind of person that'd be like, you know, I've been touring with this guy and this guy, or just like taking like 10 minutes solo, and it's like
the 10-minute solos, yeah.
You know, like, and then I was like, do I like it this much coming here? You know, like, I think jams, like especially if you're starting
Yeah.
out with, you know, singing or being a musician, they're a great way to network.
Yeah.
But you need to be careful, like where you go. Then again, I am very sensitive.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
I'm very
exactly the
sensitive
same.
with
Yeah.
people's vibes and, you know, manners and words, you know. But I feel like there can be quite heavy characters sometimes, you know.
Absolutely.
And if you're already a little bit shy or even just to be, you know, humble, you know, they can be quite heavy and overwhelming. So I
Yeah.
totally get it.
I did try the jam sessions.
Yeah.
One in particular, I thought, okay, I'm going to make an effort, and it was started really late at night, and I thought I would finish work and I'd hang around and then go to it. It seems to me very cliquey. They weren't very welcoming to anyone new. And I went there a fair amount of times, and the host was amazing. She was a really lovely girl, and the band were awesome. But I found that no one was willing to be like, oh, hey, is this your first time here?
Right.
You know, and, you know, I'd finish my song and, like, they'd clap, but, like, no one would say anything. But when their friends were on, it'd be like, yeah, you know, and that doesn't feel right to me. Like, I'm there to, like, cheer everyone on, you know?
Absolutely. But also I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like the idea around jam sessions have really changed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like years ago, like in the 2000s, in the 2000s, like I remember it was just like, yo, let's get together, whatever, let's jam. Actually, let's
Yes.
jam, you know, whatever comes up, let's just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like a big showcase.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's very different. You know, don't get me wrong, I feel like it's great to be with very high level musicians. You can learn, we can all learn together, but even people that just started love going to jam session, especially probably people that just started love going to jam sessions. So yeah, there should definitely be a little bit more of a inclusive and gentle way to get people in.
Yeah, for sure. And I also found with a lot of them, they were very jazz focused.
Yes.
And that's great, but
Yes.
I'm not a jazz singer.
Guys, jazz is not the only freaking style. Let's just have a chat, you and me right now. Like, I mean, who knows me knows that, I mean, great jazz. And probably I never really gave it a chance. You know, I was born in the 80s, you know.
Yeah.
I just grew up with Alanis Morissette and the Spice Girls, you know, and everybody's like, you. I'm like, I mean, some of the chords and the Spice Girls music, like, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the music in general. And anyway, they broke the records, whether you like it or not, no? So there's a very, like, I do jazz. What do you do?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like, listen, it's a great art, right?
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah, I can't do it. I mean, you know, I can turn my hand to a little jazz song, but I'm not a jazz singer. I like to get up at when I would do these nights, and I would do like a pop song, you know, like a Tina Turner song, or you know, somebody else's guy, or something like that.
Yeah, whatever you feel like suits you.
Yeah, and I would be the only one. Everyone else was doing their jazz things. Yeah, and I'd be like, this is great, but like I felt like they didn't want to sort of interact with me because I wasn't that jazz singer.
Right.
So I feel like there should be more. I mean, I don't know what they like now because I don't go to them so much, but there needs to be more acceptance, I think, for the fact that there are different kinds of singers, you know, so.
Absolutely. Well, no jazz musicians have been harmed in these conversations. Do you think you can still, like, is it doable to gig full time and to still have time to write your own music?
I think so. I think so. I mean, I used to gig, you know, like almost every weekend, and I had a full-time job as well, and I would still find, I don't know how, time in the evening to record and stuff like that. It's difficult.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you kind of schedule and make sure that
Organise.
you organise, it can be done. But again, it's just that extra thing that we have to do, right? We need to gig to earn money.
Exactly.
But at the same time, we need to, if you are a songwriter, you need to keep writing and recording. So it's just kind of finding that balance.
Yeah, because it also, it's not just the, okay, I'm going to write a song now.
Absolutely.
I'm writing the song, and then I need to arrange the song, and I need to record the song. Then I need to, or someone needs to mix it and master it.
Yeah.
So, from when you actually start, it's like a long time, and I feel like if you're even just slightly a procrastinator like I am, dang, it's just so hard. I have songs that I have written 10 years ago that still I haven't put out, and I'm like, how difficult is it? I know so many musicians that I'm sure that, would want to do it with me. But, and also like gigging as well. Yes, you love it, but it's still a job.
Yeah.
So you kind of are in that state of mind, like music is a job. Music is a job. I love it, but music is a job.
Yeah.
So sometimes like to switch off and say, now I'm Sarah or Natalie, the songwriter, and I just do it for love.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit hard.
It is hard.
To kind of like let go of everything, don't you think?
Yeah. And it's also, the gigging life is really, it's hard, it's tough, it's non-stop. And I think especially for a vocalist, because you're the one that's, talking to the audience or talking to the client or whatever it might be. And you have to have that extra burst of energy at all times.
Spark.
Yeah, and I think it's, I did find it, I was gigging for about 6 years, and then I kind of just sort of took a step back.
Right.
It was amazing. I had a great time. I met some wonderful people, learned a lot, and it was a great opportunity for me. But I felt that it was time for me to just stop and really just focus on what I want to do, which is my own music.
Have you ever compromised on a gig? Like, let's say someone told you to do something you didn't want to do, or they didn't allow you to do something that you wanted to do. Has it ever happened to you, something similar?
We were quite lucky in our band. We didn't have too many issues. I mean, we had some sort of classic scenarios where the client had requested 2 sets of rock music. So that's fine. We loved that. We prepared it. We went. We did the first set, and the client said, "Oh, that's great. Can you just do like pop music now?"
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Just like that. And we were like,
well, I mean...
Yeah. Like, and I'm the kind of person that if something really annoys me, I can just lose my temper.
Right. You show it. You make sure they know.
So I was like, well... we're not going to be able to do that because, obviously we prepare these things and she kind of went on, and my drummer was a lot more kind of
let me take it from here.
It kind of like, so that got sort of ironed out by us agreeing to do a few that we knew.
Right.
But, things like that happen, and you have to kind of put the professional face on and realise that what you're going to do, you're here, you've driven so far, you might as well just pull a few out of the bag, but to do a whole set, no.
No, totally agree. Oh my God, yes.
So I guess that was a slight compromise.
No, absolutely. No, 100%. I feel like that's quite a classic one. They book you, they don't even really know what they want sometimes. Can you do just, do jazz?
Yeah.
And then they're like, actually, do you know, like, I'm a Believer? It's just like, come on, you're a musician, so you know everything.
Yeah, you don't need to learn anything.
It's fine, So, absolutely. No, that is a classic one. If you had an agent in front of you right now.
Yes.
Tell me, Natalie. So, what would you say? What would you say, to help make musicians' life better?
I think you just need to have the essential details, right? So like we said, location, time, set requests, how much, expenses obviously as well on top of the fee. But also just to make sure that they have cleared everything with the client, so that your job is literally, I'm here, I've got everything, and it's going to happen, basically.
Yes.
I was very lucky. My agents were amazing. It was just the clients that had some issues.
Oh, gosh.
But, you know, I feel like, and obviously if you have that good relationship with the agent as well, they always got your back. I was very lucky with that. But yeah, I feel just like, I mean, it's not too much to ask just to have basic information, I think.
Absolutely.
But there were times where I would get, you know, a friend would be like, oh, can you dep for me? And it would be their agent who hadn't given them enough detail or whatever, you know. And sometimes it could be a great fee, but maybe it's too far. Or,
exactly.
you know, maybe you can't hitch a ride with somebody. And I wasn't a fan of doing like the 3 to 4 hour drives.
Yeah, oh my gosh, no.
I did do them, but reluctantly.
Yeah, I mean, you all, like, we all do it, every so often. But especially when they're like, oh, this is like, and then I love it how they're just like, it's just 2 sets or 3 sets. Yeah. Oh, great. But spending like 5 hours. So they don't tell you that you're going to be waiting for like 2 hours or 3 hours. But it's just 3 sets, you know. And then he's like, do I get food?
Oh, yeah, the food thing. Oh, my God. So my agents would always confirm, they would always make sure we had a hot meal, always, right?
Right.
And I'd say maybe like 95% of the time it happened, maybe 90%.
Okay.
We would get to some other gigs though, and it was all pre-arranged. I got the email confirming everything, and they would give us like a salad from
classic,
like
or M&S sandwich.
Yeah, and you're just like, you realise it's 12 o'clock and we're here until like 1 in the morning.
Oh gosh.
You know, so there was that situation. Or they'd give us, there was this one time, I think it was 5 of us in the band, and they just presented us with a plate of chips. 1 plate of chips for 5 people. 4 guys and me, right?
Oh my God.
I don't eat that much, so I said to them, guys, you go for it. You just eat it. I had like something with me.
Oh my goodness.
But it's like, you know, and so that was a great lesson for me, because from then on I always made sure I brought something with
protein
me.
Protein
bars, salad, I made my own salad.
Yeah, anything, a bit of crackers, whatever.
Just something in case it was a disaster zone.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, the food thing is really important.
Yeah, or like a place to chill.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's it.
And then you're like, okay, where am I going?
Yeah.
You know?
I also feel like a lot of the time they want you there, the client, but they don't want to see you.
Yeah,
until you're on stage.
True.
Yeah, can you just hang out in the corner?
Yeah, can you just hide?
Yeah, we'll do that. We've got all this gear and we've got to change and we've got to, you know, but we'll just sit in the corner.
Yeah, and then they don't give you a space to put like your gear cases, and they're like, sorry, can you just hide it? Like,
put it in your car, which is parked.
Let me just where? Tell me where, and I will put it
or
there.
They're like, yeah, you can't park your car outside. It has to be in this like car park, which is like, you know, 10 miles away.
Yeah. Oh, the joys, you guys, the joys. Oh my goodness. And you know, we talked about money. So what would you think would be now, 2026, in London, a fair fee for a, let's say, you know, 40 minutes gig in a fancy hotel or a restaurant or a, you know, whatever that is that offers live music? What do you think? What do you think would be a fair fee?
I mean, I'm a bit out of the loop, but I would say for a week gig, like a weeknight, I would say like 250.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If it's a weekend in a fancy venue, I would definitely be asking for 350 plus.
Yes, girl. So I should be I should just be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't agree, I don't disagree. That's fine.
But
yes, I do
it's
agree.
really hard to know what to charge, because, like I said, I started when I had started doing my sort of solo gigs before I did function work. I didn't know anyone that was in the game. You know, I couldn't say, what do you charge?
Yeah,
I had to be like, well, what should I charge? And oh, and I started off charging way too little.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm actually doing quite a lot. Maybe I should just, bring it up a
Yeah.
bit. But you're almost like embarrassed. Like, is it okay if it's 200?
Yeah, because they kind of made us think, through the years that you shouldn't be guessing that.
Yeah.
You're just chilling, you're having fun,
Yeah.
so they made you feel like, you're asking for too much, but,
And I also think, like, and with all musicians, like, outsiders think that we just do it. Like, obviously we have talent for it, whatever the skill is, but you can't just have the talent. You have to practice.
Absolutely,
you have to
work so much
hard,
work.
yeah, and learn things and keep getting better. And you don't just sit at home like twiddling your thumbs. You're constantly doing something.
Absolutely.
And that takes years and years and years of work.
Yeah, but it's the thing, it's the certain skill. The plumber is going to ask you for 100 quid just to come and have a look at your pipes.
And you wouldn't question that.
Exactly, you wouldn't
Never.
question that.
Yeah.
You don't question the £200 for cleaning your teeth.
Yep.
Which is not a surgery, I get it, still putting hands in your mouth.
Yeah.
But still, you're like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then singing for 2 hours is like, why?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean-
We'll just give you £10. Or exposure. We can't
Exactly.
pay you. We can't pay
But we
you.
gave you food.
Oh, we give you food, Jenny.
Oh my goodness gracious, the things that we go through is incredible. Well, my dear, I had a lovely time.
Me
I think
too.
our time is up. It went so quickly. I know. It's incredible, but thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Thank you.
Ups and downs, a bit of, feelings about gigging and music in general. That's very appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Because I love doing this, and I really see that it helps. I've had people telling me, I watched your interview and that girl said that thing that really resonated with me. So yeah, thank you so much for opening up for us.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And guys, we will see you next week. Take care. Bye.